Welcome to our program, Astronomy for Everyone. Throughout the course of the year, the Ford Amateur Astronomy Club is involved with several events in our area. We're going to talk about two of them on this show today. The first one we'll talk about is our Expo and Swap. Here in the studio with me is John Schroer, a member of our crew and a member of the Ford Club as well. John, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Don. It's nice to be here.
Now, the Expo and Swap we've had for about the last 7 years, if memory serves correct.
That's correct. It happens in the late winter, very early spring, and it's held over at a church in Livonia. And the Astronomy and Swap Meet is a place where the public can come and learn more about astronomy. There's a series of speakers. There are tables where people can sell all kinds of astronomically related items, telescopes, eyepieces, binoculars, books, and more.
There's quite a bit to do there. We have vendors selling new equipment, of course, and we also have one of our club members who brings his privately owned portable planetarium to give free tours of the night sky to anyone who would like to partake in that.
Absolutely. The Astronomy Show and Swap Meet, the Expo is designed to help people discover astronomy, not only as a hobby, but possibly as a future career choice.
Now, in addition to the vendors and the equipment that's available, we also have a series of talks by prominent speakers and by members of our own club as well.
That's correct. One of the more enjoyable speakers we had last year, and she's been here, I think, for all 7 years, is Dr. Karen Bjorkman from the University of Toledo.
That's right, and we have a clip of an interview with Dr. Bjorkman that was recorded at our last Expo and Swap this past March.
This is John Schroer at the Astronomy Expo and Swap Meet, and with me is Dr. Karen Bjorkman from the University of Toledo. Hi, Karen.
Hi there.
Can you tell us a little bit about where you went to school and what your specialty is in astronomy?
Sure. So I started out my bachelor's degree in physics at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And then I did my graduate work at the University of Colorado in Boulder. My master's and PhD are from there. I had a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. And then I came here to Toledo, and that's where I've been ever since.
Super. So can you tell us about the talk you gave today?
Sure. So my subject of my talk today was some of the new discoveries in astronomy and some of the new things that we're learning, given new telescopes and new instruments and new spacecraft about the universe that we live in, and a lot of the exciting discoveries that have come out in the last 5 to 10 years. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on and some new things that we need to figure out.
Absolutely. Now, from a personal point of view, when you go out and observe the night sky for yourself, not for your research, what type of things do you like to look at?
Well, if I'm in a place where I have dark skies, the Milky Way is number one. But of course that takes really dark skies. So if I don't have really dark skies, I love the constellation of Orion, as I think most people do. It's such a beautiful feature in the night sky. I love to see the planets up there. Just last night I watched the International Space Station fly right over the top of Toledo, and that was a lot of fun. It was really bright. And so those are the kinds of things I like to see.
Dr. Bjorkman, thank you all very much.
You're quite welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.
For our next interviews, we're going to talk to the event coordinator, Mr. Tom Blazak, and also we'll hear from one of the vendors at this event, Jeff Heinlein. Give a listen.
All right. It's John Schroer back at the Astronomy Expo and Swap Meet, and today I have with me Jeff Heinlein from the Great Red Spot. Jeff, can you tell me about your company and what kind of services and products you offer?
Well, we are a company that sells astronomical equipment that is value driven for the low to medium end amateur astronomers. We've been around for about 5 years now, and we specialize in scopes from the small handheld binoculars all the way up to larger 12-inch telescopes from various companies such as Zoomel, Astrotech, Skywatcher, and we also carry some of our own line of products, and we also specialize in accessories for all the telescopes, such as eyepieces, filters, and tripods and other accessories.
Okay, super. How long have you been involved with the Astronomy Expo?
This is my 5th year here at the Expo, so I've been here, I think it's been 7 years that the event's been going on, so I missed the first 2 years. But this is my 5th year here.
All right, super. What's your favorite part of the Expo?
I think I just like to actually be here and meet the different people, but I think the most exciting part for me is when the young people come up and are really curious about the telescopes. I like to share a lot of how they work. I like to see the excitement about them and the curiosity about being able to see what they might be able to see in one of the scopes.
Well, Jeff, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure.
Hi, this is John Shore at the Astronomy Expo and Swap Meet. Today I have with me Tom Blazak, who is the chairman of the event. Tom, can you tell me what got you started with the Astronomy Expo and Swap Meet?
I got started because a long time ago, 7 years ago, we had a cold winter days sell and swap. And after freezing for 2 years, and I thought there's got to be more to putting on a program than selling used equipment. And I thought, well, the club, the Ford Astronomy Club's big into community outreach. And I thought, what better way than with people having time on their hands in the winter, but to get them to attend something that was educational. And the first few years, third, fourth, and fifth year, we had 2 or 3 speakers, 4 or 5 lectures, and now we have 8 lectures going on today. And people come for the lecture, whereas previously it was just astronomers or amateurs coming for exchanging equipment with each other. So now it's a whole combination of equipment exchange and public outreach, public education, and we're trying to attract more and more people in that regard rather than just selling equipment.
Okay, so is your favorite part the lectures that happen here?
Oh, absolutely. There's so many fascinating aspects to astronomy, and whether it's visual observing or imaging, we have experts in the club. There's someone become available to us who is not a club member. We solicit their input and support, and we've been very lucky to get people who are not club members to support us, and it's made it grow, and it's going to grow even be bigger.
All right, Tom, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Back to the
I
studio.
hope you enjoyed those interviews. Next up, we're going to talk to some of the attendees at this year's Expo and Swap.
Hi, this is John Shore with the Ford Amateur Astronomy Club at our 7th annual Astronomy Expo and Swap Meet. Today I have with me Diane Hall from the Warren Astronomical Society. So Diane, what brings you here?
Hello. Well, as the outreach director of the Warren Astronomical Society, I'm manning a booth here with our club flyers, merchandise, gigas, along with our club treasurer.
Well, that's awesome. You doing any sales over there as well?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me what's going on with the Warren Astronomical Society? What upcoming events do you have?
Well, we have our Thursday meeting coming up on the 17th. On the 18th, we have a very special showing of Hubble 3D that we're going in a group to the Henry Ford IMAX. And then we're really pulling out the stops to have a big event in conjunction with the Ford Club in Seven Ponds at Metro Beach on the 24th.
Of April, right?
Of April, yep, for Astronomy Day.
Well, that's super. It's nice having you here. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, John. It's great.
This is John Shore at the 7th annual Ford Astronomy Club annual Expo and Swap Meet. And with me is John Lyons with the Seven Ponds Astronomy Club. John, can you tell me a little bit about the Seven Ponds? It has a different reputation than most clubs in the area.
Well, yes, it does. Because we've been in existence since the early '80s, but like I say, we operate different than a lot of clubs because, first of all, we don't have any dues, and we don't have any formal, meeting Robert's Rules of Order, whatever. We just get together to observe and have fun, and we have been known to be an eating club. We always have snacks and goodies, no matter where it is. So, but yeah, we're out by Dryden, Michigan. We still have pretty nice skies out there, compared to a lot of places in the metro area. And like I say, we meet monthly. Generally around the Saturday closest to a new moon, not always, but most of the time. And we do go off-site on occasions for some planetarium trips, like down at the Science Center, or up at Abrams, up in Lansing, or whatever. And sometimes we might be observing at somebody's home, rather than being at the Nature Center.
Now, you also do a public outreach events at Seven Ponds Nature Center, isn't that right?
Yes, we do. On occasions, we do have. Once a year, we have the Seven Pines. The Nature Center itself has their Heritage Harvest Days, which we generally were there all day long, and that caters, to quite a number of people. And we do have some public observing programs, every once in a while, not all that often, because we like to observe ourselves, putting it mildly. But yes, we do stuff for the public, for the kids and stuff. Like for example, we've done quite a few Astronomy Day activities out there, and then several activities with the Nature Center sponsors, like a family space night.
Okay.
Which we've done that several times.
Very good. Now, what's upcoming in the schedule for the Seven Pines Astronomy Club? Isn't there a big event on April 24th?
April 24th, we are participating in an activity at Metro Beach, along with the other area clubs, the Ford Club, the Warren Club, and that'll be an evening activity of indoor presentations as well as outdoor observing with telescopes. So last year was their inaugural event, and it was an excellent event. We're looking forward to doing it again.
All right, John, thank you very much for your time.
Well, thanks for having me. Thank you.
All right. This is John Schroer back at the 7th Annual Ford Amateur Astronomy Club, Astronomy Expo and Swap Meet. And with me I have
Al Bates.
Mike Rousseau.
And I want to tell me, gentlemen, what brings you here to the Swap Meet?
Well, mostly it's the people and the astronomers here. I just love to associate and socialize with them, and just as good to see old friends.
Mike?
Pretty much the same thing. Coming here to talk to everybody and buy some little goodies that I need over the year. That's about it.
Super. How long have you been coming to the Swap Meet, guys?
I think every year since it's been going.
Yep, same here.
Tom does a good job putting it together.
Yep.
Very good. That's Mr. Tom Blazak. Okay, so what did you buy today?
I bought a 8-inch Astrotech astrophotography scope, and
From who?
From Tom, and planning on doing some astrophotography with it.
Super. How about you, Mike?
Yep, I bought a 90-degree diagonal from Ryder's Hobby Shop that I needed for my guide scope, and 2 years ago I bought the predecessor scope to the one Al bought from Tom Blazak. So apparently that seems to be his niche.
Well, very good. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Yep.
Hi, this is John Schroer at the Ford Amateur Astronomy Club, Astronomy Expo and Swap Meet, and with me I have Michael Bruno II. Michael, how you doing today?
Good.
Can you tell me, what's your favorite part of the Astronomy Expo?
Probably the planetarium dome over there.
What things did you see in there?
Well, we saw like stars, and he told like stories about the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper.
That's cool. So, do you look at the night sky with telescopes with your dad?
Yep.
Can you tell me, what are your favorite things to look at up there in the sky?
Probably the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, Jupiter. Jupiter, if I could see it. Mars and the Moon.
Okay. Michael, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope this segment has given you an idea of what our Expo and Swap Meet is like. To get more information about next year's upcoming Expo and Swap, please check our website. You can see the address down there at the bottom of your screen. Right after this public service announcement, we'll be back with Astronomy at the Beach.
There is really only one boy, one girl, one tree, one forest, one ocean, one mountain, one sky, and one simple way to care for it all. Please visit earthshare.org and learn how the world's leading environmental groups are working together under one name, EarthShare. One environment, one simple way to care for it.
Another event that the Ford Amateur Astronomy Club is heavily involved with is Astronomy at the Beach. This is held every year, typically in September at Kensington Metro Park. This year it'll be at their Maple Beach location. Here with me again is John Schroer to talk about this year's upcoming event. John, what are the dates for this year's Astronomy at the Beach?
The 14th Annual Astronomy at the Beach is going to be on Friday, September the 10th, and Saturday, September 11th this year.
Very good. Now, I know that there are a lot of different activities that go on during this two-day event at Kensington Metro Park. What are some of the highlights?
Well, some of the highlights include our main speaker, Dr. Brad Whitmore from the Space Telescope Science Institute. He's the Deputy Director of Science. They're in charge of running the Hubble Space Telescope. He'll be talking about the 20 years of the Hubble Space Telescope and its legacy for our expansion of knowledge of the universe in astronomy, thanks to the Hubble Space Telescope. There's also activities where there's a sky scavenger hunt where children will look through many different telescopes to look at planets and stars and whatever, and they can earn a prize as well as a certificate. There are also demonstrations done by Kevin Daney of Delta College up by Bay City. Also members of the Ford Club, such as Gordon Hansen, will do his Astronomy 101. There'll also be live tours of the night sky, and amateur astronomers will bring dozens of telescopes to let people look through them. Oh, and binoculars as well.
Now, this event, does it cost anything for people to attend?
Well, there is a $5 fee for admittance into Kensington Metro Park. If you have a Metro Park pass, an annual pass is $20. There's no charge for the event itself. It's just getting entrance into the park.
Now, I understand that the Detroit Science Center is also going to have their portable planetarium there again this year to give tours of the night sky.
Yeah, we have a Star Lab. It is a 14-foot wide portable planetarium inflatable. So in case there's any kind of cloudy weather, which is a possibility in Michigan, we'll be able to at least give a tour of the sky in the planetarium.
And this is the 14th annual Astronomy at the Beach. As I recall, this started back in 1997 to take a look at Comet Hale-Bopp.
That's correct. And then it grew from there to an annual and one of the largest public astronomy events in the country. It's sponsored by the 7 local clubs, the Ford Amateur Astronomy Club, the Warren Astronomical Society, the Seven Ponds Astronomy Club, the Oakland Astronomy Club, University Lowbrows, which is located in Ann Arbor, the Amateur Astronomers of Jackson are just some of those clubs that participate in the event. It's also sponsored by the Detroit Science Center, the Cranbrook Institute of Science, and this year by 2 vendors of Great Red Spot Astronomy Products, that's Jeff Heinlein's company, and Camera Mart out of Pontiac.
Interesting. Now, as I think back too, over the years, we've had some fairly well-known people be the guest speakers at Astronomy at the Beach. A few of them that come to mind are David Levy. Also, we've had Jack Lausma and a Michigan astronaut, Drew Feustel.
Yeah, Drew was the astronaut that did the last surfacing mission to Hubble, which happened this spring. He grew up in Lake Orion, right here in the Metro Detroit area.
Well, you know, we've got some very interesting footage that we took at last year's event. We're going to show you some of that right now to give you an idea of the feel of Astronomy at the Beach. Give a look.
For Astronomy for Everyone, here at the Astronomy at the Beach at Kensington Metro Park. We are standing outside right now of the Detroit Science Center portable planetarium, one of the many things that you can see if you had chosen to come down to Astronomy at the Beach. And of course, it will be back next year, so if you're a budding amateur astronomer and would like to find out more about this great hobby, an excellent opportunity is Astronomy at the Beach.
I hope you found the information on these 2 events interesting, and hopefully you'll be able to attend one or both. If you have any questions or would like further information, send us an email to our show email address that you see down there at the bottom of your screen. And after this list of upcoming events, stay tuned for Steve Whitty and Term of the Month.
Term of the month for September 2010 is stellar. Now everybody knows what stellar means. You know, you have a stellar performance. You know, that was a good performance. Stellar means good. It's an adjective. It describes something as usually as good, but it could also mean big and you know, stellar proportions. That's something that's really huge. But let's go back just a little bit about where the word comes from, or what the word really kind of means, and how it's going to be used in astronomy. Stellar means star-like, and you could argue, although I probably wouldn't, you could argue that the sun is not stellar. The sun is a star. It's not like a star. It really is the star, a star. When you look up in the night sky, you see points of light. You see lots of points of light. And originally, these were all stars, even if they weren't stars. So the planets were wandering stars. Asteroids, and the word asteroid is aster for star, and oid is like, so that's also another star-like word. All of these objects, all of these points of lights were stellar. So some of them were stars, some of them were double stars or triple stars, even if we didn't know it. But some of them were bits of rock in our orbiting in our solar system, and so they're asteroids. But let's get to the size of the sun, just how big it is. We're going to start with the Earth. You know, we always start with something we know and then go larger. So the Earth is about 8,000 miles across. And it's pretty big. You know, it's a lot farther than to the grocery store. It's pretty big. 8,000 miles across. That's the diameter. Jupiter is a lot bigger. It's the biggest of the planets in our solar system. It's 83,000 miles across. So that's about 11 times bigger than the Earth. And then finally, you get to the Sun, and the Sun is 864,000 miles across. So that's 10 times the diameter of Jupiter, but it's 109 times the diameter of the Earth. So that's one way of looking at how big, just how stellar the Sun is. But astronomers have another way of looking at it, and that is how massive the objects are. So the Earth is an extremely massive object. It is a 6 followed by 24 zeros, kilograms, in mass. It would weigh that much if you could weigh it near the surface of the Earth. Of course, it is the Earth. Jupiter, on the other hand, Jupiter is a 2 followed by 27 zeros, kilograms. That's 318 times the mass of the Earth. And that's a little easier way of thinking about it. Like in astronomical distances, we have this relative to that, 318 times the mass of the Earth. This is an older photo. You can see that there's both a southern band and a northern band. This is so last summer, 2009. And then finally we get to the Sun. The Sun is a 2 followed by 30 zeros. That's 1,047 times the mass of Jupiter in kilograms, and 333,000 times the mass of the Earth. Truly stellar proportions. So then we think, well, is the Sun a very large star? Well, there are stars that are, it turns out, 10,000 times larger than the Sun. And in fact, most of the points of light that you see in the night sky are these huge stars. They're not necessarily close, they're just very large and very bright. And then there are stars that are down to about 10,000 times smaller than the sun. And from this sort of scale where this is this times bigger than that, the sun is kind of an average sized star. But it's bigger than about 85% of the stars in the Milky Way. It's pretty big. It's stellar proportions.
Thanks, Steve. And now for a look at what's up in September's sky. Here's John Schroer.
Good evening. September's moon will be on Wednesday this month. So the beginning of the month on the 1st, we have the last quarter moon, meaning it will rise very late at night or very early in the morning. On the 8th, we have no moon in the sky because the side facing us will receive no sunlight. Therefore, it's not going to be visible. On the 15th, we'll have the first quarter moon, which will be visible in the early evening sky. And then 8 days later, on the 23rd, we will have our full moon. And since it's after the beginning of fall, the fall or autumnal equinox, this will be known as the harvest moon. And then the third quarter moon will be in the 1st of October. Now for the planets. For the planets, well, in the western sky, in the glow of twilight, you'll be able to see Mars and Venus, two very bright planets in the western sky. Now, if you look in the opposite direction, to the east by southeastern sky, you'll be able to see the giant Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. With a pair of binoculars, you might notice very close by a pale green dot, which is the planet Uranus. Now, for the constellations. If you look to the eastern sky, you'll look at the newly risen constellations in the fall. We'll start with the great square of Pegasus. Now, Pegasus looks like a great square or box in the sky, and this is supposed to portray a horse with wings. Now, attached to one of the stars, Alpheratz, is our next constellation, Andromeda, the beautiful princess. Now, her stars make her look like a sideways letter V. And if you look just above her, you might be able to glimpse in a dark country sky with just your eyes a faint smear of light. This is Messier number 31, the great Andromeda galaxy. This is the closest spiral galaxy to our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Now, if you go further down in the sky, and over to the left, you'll be able to see her boar friend and the hero that saved her from the terrible sea monster Cetus. This is Perseus, the hero. And just at the top of Perseus, the hero, you'll be able to see what looks like a large, faint fuzzy. And this is actually the famous double cluster, two bright clusters of stars side by side in the nighttime sky. We'll finish up the month with the constellation of Pisces, the fish. And this is where you'll find the planet Jupiter, lower and to the right of your screen as you see the constellation here. So that concludes what's up for September 2010. So when you get a chance, join me. Let's go outside and enjoy the night sky. Thank you.